Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we'll continue reading from the Bhagavad-Gita as it is today from chapter 12, devotional service. Is it text number 9? Supposed to be 10? She told me 9. Anyway, if it's 10, no problem. Huh? What did you do? What did you do yesterday? Yesterday was 8. Today is 9. Okay, today is 9. We can do 10 also. Okay. All right. Please repeat after me. Ata chitang samhadatung na sakshnosi mayi stiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichaptung dhananjaya atachitam samadatu na sakshnosi mayi stiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichaptung dhananjaya atachitam samadatu na sakshnosi mayi stiram avyasa yogena tato mam ichaptung dhananjaya atachitam samadatu na shakti maya sriram abhasya yogena tato mam chitta dhananjaya atachitam samadatu na shakti maya sriram abhasya yogena tato Machita Bhuta Dhananjaya Atochita Samavatato Nastokshi Maya Srira Abhasya Yogina Tato Machita Dhananjaya Atachita Samavatato Abhyasa yogena tato mang ichaptung dhananjaya. Matajis tachitam samadatum na sakshnosi mayi stiram abhyasa yogena tato mang ichaptung dhananjaya tachitam samadatum na sakshnosi mayi stiram abhyasa yogena tato mang ichaptung dhananjaya Okay. Word for word meaning. Ata, if. Therefore. Chitam, mind. Samadhatum, to fix. Na, not. Shakshnoshi, you are able. Mayi, upon me. Stiram, steadily. Abhyasa yogena, by the practice of devotional service. Tata, then. Mam, me. Icha, desire. Aptum, to get. Danam jaya, O winner of wealth, Arjuna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of bhakti-yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Everybody please repeat. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of bhakti-yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Purport. In this verse, two different processes of bhakti-yoga are indicated. The first applies to one who has actually developed an attachment for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by transcendental love. And the other is for one who has not developed an attachment for the Supreme Person by transcendental love. For this second class, there are different prescribed rules and regulations one can follow to be ultimately elevated to the stage of attachment to Krishna. Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses. At the present moment in material existence, the senses are always impure, being engaged in sense gratification. But by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, these senses can become purified, and in the purified state, they come directly in contact with the Supreme Lord. In this material existence, I may be engaged in some service to some master, but I don't really lovingly serve my master. I simply serve to get some money. And the master also is not in love. He takes service from me and pays me. So there is no question of love. But for spiritual life, one must be elevated to the pure stage of love. That stage of love can be achieved by practice of devotional service, performed with the present senses. This love of God is now in a dormant state in everyone's heart, and their love of God is manifested in different ways, but it is contaminated by material association. Now, the heart has to be purified of the material association, and that dormant natural love for Krishna has to be revived. That is the whole process. To practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, one should, under the guidance of an expert spiritual master, follow certain principles. One should rise early in the morning, take bath, enter the temple, and offer prayers and chant Hare Krishna. Then collect flowers to offer to the deity. Cook foodstuffs to offer to the deity. Take prasadam, and so on. There are various rules and regulations which one should follow, and one should constantly hear Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. This practice can help anyone rise to the level of love of God, and then he is sure of his progress into the spiritual kingdom of God. This practice of bhakti-yoga under the rules and regulations with the direction of a spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of God. Srila Prabhupada, okay. Let's end the Bhaktivedanta purport, Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 12, text 9. Avagyanantimirandasya gyanangyara salakaya chaksurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurung Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanespari Vishavano Sute Devi Pranavami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kipasinduvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Atachitang samadhantum nasa saksnosi maya stitram Abhyasa yoganata tomam ichaptung dananjaya. My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of bhakti-yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. Do we need to have, says here, in this way, develop a desire to attain me. That means right now we don't have a desire to attain Him, to attain Krishna. Those who are in love of Krishna, they're always 24 hours fully engaged in serving Him, in love, with love and devotion. Because that is our natural tendency to love Krishna, to serve Krishna. But in the conditioned state, we don't have that. We even want to forget Krishna. Only the devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, they always remember Krishna 24 hours a day. But for others who does not have love for Krishna, that means they don't remember and they don't think of Krishna 24 hours a day. But for those who wants to attain Him, who has a desire to attain Him, then one has to follow certain process, rules and regulations to attain Him. So here in this verse is what you call Abhyas Yoga. Abhyas Yoga. It says here, Abhyas Yogena, by the practice of devotional service. And then there is another one that has spontaneous, those without deviation. They always think of Krishna. Their mind is fixed upon Krishna without deviation. So for right now, we are what you call sadhakas. We're just trying to think of Krishna. If we can think of Krishna 50% the whole day, then that is very good. But if you're thinking of Krishna 100%, then that means you have love for Krishna. So the process of how to attain Krishna is what you call bhakti-yoga. Bhakti-yoga means engaging all of one's senses so that they'll become purified in serving the Supreme Lord. So the present moment, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to engage our senses. However, to fully attain the desired result using our senses so that we'll become 100% purified, as Prabhupada says, you cannot serve the pure with impure senses. So right now we're trying to purify our senses so that ultimately we'll be able to serve Krishna with purified senses. So it depends on our motivation. It depends on our intentions why we are serving Krishna. Some, they serve Krishna with not 100% fully surrendering themselves. Some, they serve Krishna because they know that there is some benefit, there is some even material benefits will be fulfilled. Ultimately, we should serve Krishna without any motivation, material motives. Krishna, when one serves Krishna, both material and spiritual benefits are achieved. But not all the time. Some, they like to serve Krishna. They want to serve Krishna because they know that if they ask Krishna for material benefits, Krishna may or may not give those things. But usually Krishna gives. Sometimes not. But the result is the same. If Krishna gives, ultimately, after some time, the aspiring devotee will realize that it is no use for me. Who's that example? Dhruva Maharaj, right? Dhruva Maharaj would like to have a kingdom better than his father. So when he met Supreme Lord, he became attracted towards his lotus feet. And he says, I was looking for broken glasses. Material desires is like looking for broken glasses because it doesn't have real value. The value is ephemeral. Ephemeral means temporary. In the beginning there is some fulfillment, but it doesn't last that long. So he says, I was looking for broken glasses, but now I found diamond. So I don't need any more of this. So devotees are like this also. Sometimes Krishna may fulfill their desires materially. Some, they go to the church and they have so many desires. God, give me this. God, give me that. the prayers of the that religion is of our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Give us this daily bread. Right? Asking for daily bread. That means that's material. But Krishna, God, even if you don't pray, Krishna will still provide. Prabhupada gave an example, just like in the forest. There is practically unlimited animals there, and they found their sustenance. They're able to live without going to work 9 to 5. They're able to exist. Krishna provides them the food. It's like he gave an example. It's like elephants. The elephants in one eating, they will eat kilos, 100 kilos of fruits. But they survive. But they don't have to pray to the Father. The Father knows what the children's needs are. So, for us also, we don't need to ask Krishna, I want this, I want that. Krishna knows as the Supreme Father, Aham Bija Pradapita, I am the seed-giving Father. We were reading that yesterday in Agra. And as the Father, He provides everything. One need not to ask anything. And all the material necessities will be fulfilled. Our engagement only should just try to serve Him with purified mind and purified intelligence and purified motivation, only to serve the Supreme Lord. It is not like a material business transaction. Again, Prahlad Maharaj, when he was asked by Nishingadev, I will give you anything, either material or spiritual, whatever you wish. But then Prahlad Maharaj says, well, if that is the case, then it is like a business-like transaction. That the servant is expecting something in return for the service that he rendered. If I ask for some return for my service, then it is like, oh, if you don't pay me, then I will not work. So there is no real love and exchange there. For the devotees, they may receive something or not from the Supreme Lord, it doesn't matter. It's like for the brahmacharis in the Gurukul. Brahmacharis, they go to Gurukul, the school of the spiritual master. So either you're son of a king or you're son of a pauper, both can be eligible to go to the Gurukul. And the Gurukul means school of the spiritual master. So the spiritual master has a direct relationship with the students. And because the students, they can see the personality, the character of the spiritual master to be genuine. What he speaks, he acts. And just becoming, by understanding this nature of the guru or the spiritual master being genuine, then the student becomes obedient. And it says there that if the spiritual master forgets to call the student for prasad, then the student will fast the whole day. But of course, the spiritual master will never forget or miss calling the student for prasad. That is just what it says, that it is out of obedience that the student will follow whatever the teacher will say. So the advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on one's obedience towards the spiritual master. If one wants to advance in Krishna consciousness, then one must take up guidance under shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, because he has seen the truth, he has realized the knowledge, and by following his teachings, the assurance of the advancement of the student will be accomplished. So this love of God is in a dormant state right now. Every one of us has this dormant love of God. Pure love of God. Pure, unalloyed, 24 carats. Carats, like gold. Like gold can be 14, 10, 14, 18, right? In India, you can buy gold, 24 karat gold. But mostly it is 22 also, because it's so soft. Gold is so soft. But it's not really gold. If we say 10 karat or 14 karat or 18 karat, that is still close. So a pure love for Krishna is inert in everyone's heart. So right now, our love for Krishna is like 10 carats only. It's not 100% gold. It's not 100% pure love. There is still some tinge of material desires in exchange for what we are offering to Krishna. We're still expecting something from Krishna. Pure love, not expecting anything in return. It's like the inhabitants of Vrindavan, especially the cowherd damsels, the Braja Gopis, the Gopikas. That's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the Gopis, they have the highest love for Krishna. They were ready to give up their own family. They give up everything that they do, whatever activities that they do, family, relationship, social status. They don't even care about that. All they want to do is how to please Krishna. So that day will come someday, hopefully soon, when we always keep reminding ourselves that everything that I should do for Krishna is for His own pleasure only, not expecting anything in return for myself. And the spiritual master keeps on reminding us this process. The spiritual master guides, is like the guide of the students, how to attain this. By his example, by his activities, who's always engaged 24 hours. You cannot have love of God if you are not engaged 24 hours a day. To be engaged 24 hours a day in Krishna consciousness, that means you have attained love of God. But this is our real nature, to serve Krishna 24 hours a day. Prabhupada gave an example. This is inert in everyone's heart. This is present in everyone's heart. Just like in the wood, fire is present. Fire is present in the wood, but it's in a dormant stage. So right now, dormant means it's like in a sleeping state. There's a difference between when you're awake and when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, you forget everything. You forget even who you are. Sometimes like that. When I go travel in some places, when I wake up, I cannot even remember where I am. Where am I? Oh yes. I'm in this country. I'm in this city. Oh yes. This is a devotee's house. So it is like that right now. We're like in a sleeping state, and we need to be woken up. And this process of bhakti is what you called in the beginning, is called Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. There are two processes being described here. This Raganuga Bhakti and the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. The Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti means following rules and regulations. We wake up early in the morning. There is a book called Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sanatan Goswami. And in that book explains as soon as you get up, what do? You offer obeisances to the spiritual master, offering prayers to Lord Krishna, how to brush your teeth, how to put on tilak, different ways how you can take bath. The best is of course the holy rivers like Ganga or Yamuna, and all these things. How to put on tilak, how to put on these different markings all over the body. What to do, Mangalartik, going to meet the Supreme Lord. Before entering the temple room, what do? You don't just go inside. First you have to knock or ring the bell, just like indicating your presence that you are coming. What to do when you enter the temple room, how to offer obeisances, what are the things that you can do and not do. It's a nectar of devotion that also there is a very long list. Not to talk, not to be angry, not to eat, not to pass air, not to be angry, not to chastise anybody, how to offer flowers, all these things, many. But for others, this becomes natural. This becomes natural. Only in the beginning that we have to follow this. But even right now, we're still dragging ourselves to go for Mangal Arti. It's not spontaneous. Spontaneous means Raganuga. They still follow. Those devotees who are always thinking of Krishna without deviation, who has love for Krishna, it is not that they are beyond the rules and regulations. They follow the rules and regulations, but spontaneously. It's not that because you have love for Krishna, you don't come for Mangalarti. You still come for Mangalarti. Oh, I have love for Krishna. I don't have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Japa. I'm done. I'm finished with this. I graduated already to these things. I don't have to come for the Bhagavatam class. I don't have to offer Guru Puja. No. I just think of Krishna 24 hours a day. No. You still follow all of these rituals or different activities where the senses are engaged for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. But you do it in a spontaneous way. You don't have to be told. You don't have to be asked. It's like a young child. A young child, in order for the child to be educated and graduate in school, the parents has to, in the beginning, they have to push. No, you must come to school. Come to school. No, I don't want to go to school. I just want to play. But the parents know that playing is not everything. So in the beginning, the child has to be like brought to the school. And then when the child sees a school, there are more children there and he can play. Right? Oh, this school is good. But then he has to get up also early in the morning to go catch the bus, go to the school. So similarly like that, when our senses become awake, right now the senses are like in the sleeping state. When the senses becomes woken up by this process, it's a practice. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti means practice, following rules and regulations. So practice, And in the English, they have a saying, practice makes one perfect. Practice makes one perfect. So we cannot become perfect if we don't do this process. And yes, if one wants to see God, then he has to follow this. As Prabhupada says, if you want to see God, then this is the way how to do it. Right now we have what you call the cataract. Our eyes are having this disease. But then the more we practice this process of Krishna consciousness, following these various rules and regulations, then it becomes spontaneous. And as the purport says, we should constantly hear Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. So this is what we do. Our main business in the temple is to keep this lamp always existing, the lamp of kirtan, hearing and chanting, Shravanam Kirtanam. Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting and remembering the Supreme Lord. So for those who are not residents of the temple, just like the brahmacharis or the sannyasis, for those who are grihastas, it is not that you are disqualified to follow this process. At the same time though, one must be a little bit more strict, especially those who are householders, to follow this process. Because if you're a householder, that means the presence of being in the temple, the benefits of being in the temple is not there. So therefore, you have to make your homes as residents of Lord Krishna. And therefore, there is no difference between those who resides inside the temple and those who are residing outside. The main difference though is that the rapid advancement is available for those who are residents of the temple, the asramites, because this is their life. As soon as they get up, temple. The whole day, temple. When they sleep, temple. So it is easier to remember Krishna, and it's easier to engage one's senses in purifying to attain love of God. But that doesn't mean that the householders, they are disqualified. It is just a little bit more of endeavor for the householders to do, to practice this, to practice, yes. So that means as householders, they must have also Mangalartik. It's not that, work starts at 8 o'clock and you get up at 7:30. No, you get up a little earlier, perform Mangalartik. Everything is shortcut, not shortcut, but shorter. I remember when we go traveling, we do this also. If we're not staying in the temple, we still have to do our morning program. We get up early in the morning, no later than 5 o'clock. Start doing Mangalartik, and we do everything in one shot. The Guru Vastakam, Tulsi Puja, Guru Vastakam, Nisingha prayers, Tulsi Puja, Guru Puja, all in one shot. All in one shot. Unlike in the temple room, we have like segments, right? Different timings. Yeah, different timings. So we do everything in one shot. And in this way, then there is no. The whole process actually has to be like non-stop. It's like honey. When you pour honey to something, there's no gap, right?
You want to spill it.
There's no gap. When you pour honey, it's always like, it's continuous. It's continuous. So similarly, this process should be like that. It's not that one day, oh, I don't feel like getting up. Oh, I don't feel like chanting my rounds. Oh, I don't feel like doing this. No, like what you call moody. Moody. A person who is moody, right? Sometimes he likes, sometimes he doesn't like, sometimes it's... No. Even if we don't like, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti means you have to perform austerities. Austerities means you perform these activities so that you are desiring to attain something which is very much that you eager to have. But then, in order to attain that something that you're eager to have, you perform activities which is against your will, but you want to attain that goal. But then, in order to attain that goal, you have to perform something which contrary to what you like. So that is austerity. Who wants to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Of course, you. If you ask a materialist, no, that is the best time. Like to sleep. This is like cuddle, and especially winter time. It's still cold. Of course, right now, it's summertime. You see a lot of devotees, Mangalartik, because they cannot sleep. It's too hot, especially the generator not working. So no choice. You got to get up. But in winter time, even there's no generator, no problem. So we have to do this. This is the process. In order to be reawaken our original Krishna consciousness, we perform activities according to the rules and regulations that's been chalked out by the sastras and being instructed by the spiritual masters or the sadhus, the sages, for us to follow. Then ultimately, if we do this, then someday it will come. We may not have that love for Krishna right now. It's still in the seed form. It's still not even sprouting. It's not even sprouting. But we have to, as it says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have to water this. And this watering process is what you call Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. This process of hearing and chanting. Hearing from the right source, kirtanam, describing. Hearing means acting. We gave that class. When was it? Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, hearing means acting. If you just hear about something and you don't do anything about it, then you're not really hearing. So if you're good in hearing, you'll be good in describing. Prabhupada says that I'm good in preaching or kirtana because I'm good in hearing. And this all follows, hearing and chanting and then remembering Krishna. So this is the process. By this practice of bhakti-yoga under the rules and regulations which with the direction of a spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of God. The problem is we're not so much eager to attain love of God immediately, as soon as possible. We know our destination and we're thinking, I still have some time. When I get a little older, I'll become more serious. Now I'm still young. I will try to follow the process as much as I can. I can take it easy for now. I know there's some time. There's more time. No, a person who's eager to attain love of God, he'll do anything and everything to pay that price. This is what Prabhupada says about Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami says, if this love of God is available in the market, you should be ready to pay the price. It doesn't matter how much it costs. The materialists, if they like something, they will do anything. They will rob a bank. They will work 3 shifts in a day, only sleep for 2 hours in order to buy that material desires, attain that material desires. So if the material desires, those materialists, they want to attain as soon as possible, why not us who are in the process of attaining this? But you can see though, others are really eager. Others are very eager to attain this as much as possible. So it's like hope against hope that we have to attain this. Okay, we'll stop here. Any questions? Yes, sir. You have the mic. Hare Krishna.
As we have this love for the Lord.
Inside.
Yeah, inside. So to show the love that we do the morning programs or the programs which we are recommended by our acharyas, and we continue those things, and we feel that we are coming nearer to the Lord.
Yes.
So when we think that we are nearer to the Lord, and knowingly, sometimes we neglect the things, just like attending morning Bhagavatam class, we see so many people they are attending the class, and for prasadam, everybody is there for prasadam, because that is also naturally everybody see that is important service that we should do. Similarly, when we have our Gita class, so this Bhagavad-Gita class, you will see very few of them. They
Yes.
don't get a taste. Why? Because they don't get this taste. Because they think now we are elevated, we have gone to a higher platform, so it's not very important. If you feel important, then we see just like in the morning Bhagavad-Gita class or in Prasadam, the full crowd is there. The same full crowd would be seen in Bhagavad-Gita class also. Right?
Yes. But in the afternoon, in the evening, is very difficult to. Others may have some other activities which is their priority. Some are engaged, like making garlands. Some are engaged more in with their family, especially the children. They're out of school. They come back from school or something like that. So the main thing here is to be engaged. It's not necessarily, but in the older days, in the early days, everybody is like they come for the morning and evening program. So others, they may have some valid reasons. We don't know why they're not able to come. They may be at home hearing. I know many devotees, they hear Bhagavad-Gita class in FM. Yes, they're not able to come. Many. Like while they're doing their household chores, like they're cleaning or cooking or doing something at their ashram, they're hearing the Bhagavad-Gita, which is good also. So you're very fortunate. You're able to come every day. If they don't come, others don't come, then what to do? If they're doing something else which doesn't have anything to do with Krishna consciousness, then that is their problem. But because you're doing it, then that is very positive, and maybe someday they'll become encouraged to come Bhagavad-Gita also. They will come when they know that there is a very good speaker coming here. They will come if their guru is gonna be speaking. But for others, we've been to so many places, and it is always the case. You know, we will give class, and there's about maybe 30, 40 devotees, let's say. But when the guru comes, and the whole place is like 200, 300 people. But then when the guru goes, back to normal again, they will not come. So who's the loser here? They should come, whoever is going to speak, because they'll learn. If you can learn one thing from the speaker may not be the best speaker. What I mean by best speaker means, the whole idea here is the person who's going to speak here must be practicing what he's saying. It's not just good in speaking but not doing anything. So that's why it has more effect for those who have realized what they're saying. And if you only come once or twice, but if you have to come, this is why we mentioned it should be continuous. There should not be a gap. So throughout the whole day, if you have a gap of not able to use your senses for purification, for remembering Krishna, then it may take longer to become self-realized. It may take longer to attain love of God. And for those who have chance to hear Bhagavad-Gita, either coming here physically or hearing from the FM, then that is good. Others, will try to encourage them as much as possible. Yes.
So if department head or the they do these things, then automatically the other people will follow.
Yeah. So they may be doing something else also. Maybe they're still doing their service in their departments. But it's very rare to actually have the taste for hearing and chanting. It's not. The eagerness, the more we are eager to hear and chant, and the more we get closer to Krishna. The more we spend something else besides hearing and chanting, or any of the 9 processes of bhakti-yoga, devotional service, then the longer it will take us to get closer and attain love of God. It's simple. We can only encourage them, inspire them. If they're not able to do it and follow it, and they have some other priorities, we've done our part. We're not gonna go and get a cane and beat them up. Hey, come to the no. We're grown up. You are in Vrindavan. You don't have to be told to come for morning programs. No. To stay in Vrindavan, that means you're already like past the elementary. You're like in college. In college, you don't tell them, hey, get up. Maybe in grade 1, right? In grade 1, you have to push the child. But you to live in Vrindavan, that means you've done that. You've been there. It's like, hey, you're in the major league. Major league. You're not like in a like a freshman. So best thing is encourage them as much as possible, remind them as much as possible. And by you setting an example, a good example, setting as a good example yourself, then someday they may be inspired to be like this, to be like this. Not just when the guru comes.
We should always think that we are fresh and we are young.
Huh?
We should always think that we are fresh and we are young and we are small kids. We need somebody should push us.
Yeah, this is what we're doing. That's why this is still going on. It's still going on. The Bhagavad-Gita class should not be stopped. See, we should not think of who is the speaker. We should not think like that. And there is a tendency. Actually, even in the morning Bhagavatam class, there is a lot. The Hindi-speaking devotees, they're missing a lot. Because most of our visiting devotees who are English-speaking, they're like the world-class preachers, gurus, sannyasis. They don't give class in the Hindi. Before, there was no Hindi class. Only English class here.
How long is
Translation
the
is going on within translator.
If you know, wherever we go, I mean, in Russia, our class is being translated into Russian when we give class. In Mayapur, it is being translated into Bengali. So in Vrindavan, those Hindi speakers, Hindi listeners, you are missing a lot. I'm telling you, so much. We have big gurus coming here. They don't go to give class in the Bhagavatam, Hindi Bhagavatam. You have Indrajumna Swami, Sivaram Swami, Kadamba Kanana Swami, all of these big gurus, big sannyasis, big preachers, they don't give class in the Hindi. So you're missing a lot. If I am, gonna be followed, I will just have English Bhagavatam class and have it translated for you. You'll get more inspiration. I know some of the Hindi speakers, sorry to speak, they don't come for the morning program and they live in Vrindavan. I have to say this in front of the camera, but that's a fact. So the potency is not there. The potency will only be there if you practice what you preach. The listeners, those who will hear, will have an effect in their hearts. Not all, but maybe one or two or three. But then the Hindi speaking, the Bhagavatam class, you're missing a lot, I'm telling you, when it comes to the quality of the class and the English class. Because the English class is like here. If you give an English class here, it's like 1,000 times more than if you give anywhere else. The quality has to be like super. It's like in Mayapur during the festival time, everyone is like translating in so many languages. It's only one class, right? So festival times, we have so many speakers here coming from different parts of the world, and the effect when you hear them is like so amazing. It's like heart transforming. You can tell the difference, the potency of their kata, Hari Kata. I hope that can be changed for the Hindi speaking. You can translate, you can hear the translation. And you'll be like that. Okay, we stop here. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.